All right, another week. Well, I skipped last week, but it's okay. We have a backlog and it brings you guys closer to more up to date. But let's jump right into it. Lesson 305. In first world countries, ever since we were young, we've been programmed that failure's bad. We've been programmed that, hey, you don't want to go broke. Hey, you should save money. Hey, you don't want to come last. Hey, if you don't have a job, like you're unsuccessful. So I think that's sort of why I'm scared to run out of money. I'm scared of selling assets. I'm scared that things don't will won't like things won't work out. It's because that's how I've been pre-programmed ever since child. The schooling system teaches you to be safe. It teaches you to follow a predictable path. Whereas I need to have more perspective of being happy for the things I already have, being happy for a roof over my shoulder. Because if I was in a third world country, this is a dream. People in a third world would wish they can be exactly where I'm at this very moment. And I've been programmed to take it for granted. I've been programmed that, hey, like I'm running out of money, so I should feel bad. I don't have a job, so I should feel like a failure. I might have to sell my car and I'll look like a loser. And that's how we've been pre-programmed. But man, there's a billion people that would die to be where I am right now, if not more. Lesson 306. Reaching out, giving value, wanting to catch up with, say, a partner or a girl or a guy with the intention that you might want to sort of woo or like have sex with this person, it's gross. Like I just want to give value, send out invites, bring people to things with zero expectations. I think that's sort of why innately I don't like dating. I don't like dating apps. I don't like putting together things just so I can invite some girl that I like to. And it's like, I don't, it's so schemy. It's a bit gross. I'd rather just like hang out with someone with no expectations. Lesson 307. The worst case scenario of me having to get a job is actually pretty good because all of a sudden all the weight is off my shoulders. I can now relax for once. Finally, things are not weighted on me. Things are not reliant on me. So the worst case scenario of me going through my list of 200 people in my network looking for a job was actually not too bad. For once, I'd be able to just like chill. Lesson 200, lesson 308. Not only have I been practicing staying in the now, but I've been realizing that at this very now, at this very moment, I have everything I ever need and want. Being grateful for the present moment, for everything I have, and also having faith slash manifesting that, the God slash the universe has my back and doesn't want me to fail. And it's hard. This is easier said than done because right now my bank balance is literally zero. I have not had a zero bank balance in a long time, if not ever. But realizing that if I just tap into the now, this now as I'm talking to you through my setup and in my office, and it's a nice sunny day. Like right now, I have everything I need. Lesson 309. I have a theory that every single person has a version of them in a parallel universe, where that version of them is a reincarnation of God slash Jesus. And God has sent that person into today's world to do good, to combat the evil there is in this world. You know, with every dark, there must be light, every evil, there must be good. So try to constantly jump into the parallel universe of yourself where you are the reincarnation of God and live like Jesus. Like try to jump into that best version of yourself and you'll see yourself grow exponentially. Lesson 310. The fact that all my friends are interested in my love life and they're curious the type of person I'll end up with means I'm in a pretty good spot, I think. Like, I should actually take that as a compliment. If everyone around me is curious and asking about my love life as if I'm like a celebrity, I think that's a good thing. Lesson 311. So I recently watched this movie called Casablanca, this old black and white movie, and man, it was so freaking good. Like the main character, Rick, he's like the man. Like his store was shut down. They weren't making money, but he still kept paying the salary of all his employees despite the store being shut down for 2 weeks. And that's all the money he had. And he didn't even bat an eye. He was just chill about it. And I'm here complaining about having to maybe get some money back from my mum, get some money back from my sisters, maybe having to sell one or two Rolexes, having to sell some crypto to sustain the company for another 12 months. And he's chilling about being able to figure things out in the next 2 weeks. I think this current journey that life has put me through is just teaching me how to be comfortable with nothing, with no resources, and having faith that things will work out and being able to live in the now despite what's happening. I think, yeah, a lot of valuable lessons. Lesson 312. Putting a dinner, bringing together all my friends, you would know ROI. The only benefit it's for them. You know, if I were to be honest, like I only do it for them. I want to bring them, meet them, introduce them to interesting people because that's what makes me feel good when a friend invites me to their group thing and they introduce me to other friends that are like-minded. I really value that. Hence, I try to do the same thing. But when I do it, one, not only does it have no ROI for me, two, it takes a lot of effort and time, but it's mostly not realized or appreciated. So if I get value with spending time with someone, I should just hit them up one on one or small groups of threes. But if someone that is sort of more neutral hits me up and wants to hang out, then I should do an activity and combine them with maybe two or three other neutral friends. Lesson 313. I use social media's algorithm intentionally for my own purposes. Like I intentionally going, like for example, I intentionally go through reels looking for one, things of value that I can send to people in my network and sort of, just have them top of mind and have that conversation going. Two, valuable lessons that I can download and add to my motivational mixtape, which I can play each morning to program into my brain and really embed that important lesson into my life. Three, when I find value-based content creators, I add it to my content creator list where I would often go to their pages, look for outliers, videos they produced that did really well and sort of replicate it. And in doing so, my algorithm has been trained to only give me these three things. Lesson 314. I find adaptability very, very attractive. Someone that can hang in multiple or hang in any scenario, to be honest, whether it's partying, clubbing, at a rave, to a networking event, fine dining, hiking, trying a new sports like tennis. If someone can hang in many different scenarios, that's very, very attractive. And I don't think that's a really rare thing to find. Lesson 315. People who are at the top of their own bubble, if there's someone more successful than them, especially more successful than them by age, they often don't like it and they're often shocked because they're at the top of their bubble for their age. So they don't know, like they think they're the best. They haven't seen anyone better. So when they do see that, they're a bit shocked and it breaks their worldview and breaks the bubble. And this applies whether if you are a grinder of the game of life, a world traveler, a spiritual person. Usually you might be the most spiritual person in your circle, or you're the most well-traveled person in your circle. And the moment you find someone that is better than you at that one thing you're like the top at, it is easier for them to reject you, reject that you exist, and not let you inside their bubble and sphere. That is much easier than having you come into their life as this person that's better than them, and all of a sudden they're not at the top of this bubble. So how do I simplify this? When you're the top person in your world, when you're the top person in your bubble by age, it's a good feeling and it's very addictive, and you'd like to keep it that way. Hence, when outliers come into your life that are doing better than you, younger than you, obviously you can't really integrate them into your circle. So it's easy to just like let them float away to maintain this bubble you've built for yourself. And that's me trying to understand why that feeling of someone being insecure, someone being gatekeepy, someone feeling a bit like hands at a distance when I sort of meet them. I sort of like this is my hypothesis on why. Lesson 316. The universe will keep a person just as a friend to keep you on that path to meeting your soulmate. If a soulmate is something that you're looking for. And it's, yeah, this is something I need to often remind myself. Like the reason why universe has kept this amazing person just as a friend is because the universe is nudging me onwards through life to keep me on the path towards finding that soulmate that completes me. Lesson 317. If you're an amazing person, people are going to want to meet your counterpart. No wonder everyone's interested in my life, my love life. Like when you meet an amazing person, you're very curious, like, wow, who's this amazing person's partner? Like this person's pretty cool. Their partner must be equally as cool. And I think, yeah, that's why everyone's interested in my love life. Lesson 318. If you're live texting someone and you call that person, it sort of feels right because you're talking, they're talking back, you're saying the but just call that person. But when you call someone out of the blue, they might not be in the mood to chat. The vibe might not be there, and that person might not need a call. I can feel my energy get sucked when that happens. When I call someone out of the blue, they random pick up, they're in the middle of something. My energy just gets absorbed by them. But if I call someone that I'm just live texting, it's a nice sort of sync. Whereas if someone, whereas if someone I can sense like that they would need a call and I give them a call, my energy isn't sucked up by that much. But that's a bit harder to predict. You sort of can. I can sort of tell who's like having the time of their life and definitely does not need a call from me. So I think I've been trying to formulate and understand, okay, if I want to maintain my energy, who's going to appreciate my energy the most? It's going to be people who need someone to chat to, or people who are live talking to me as we speak, and we're already texting, so I might as well give them a call. Anything other than that, I should not be calling people out of the blue. Lesson 319. So I have a close friend, and our communication was really tight during his breakup, and he sort of was trying to rebuild his social life. And now that he's found his own tribe, he's found a group of people that has his similar sense of humor, and they're much, much more alike. So of course it makes sense where if I were to send him a message, let me rephrase that. So of course it would make sense that if he were to send someone a message, his tribe members would be more top of mind than me because he just has more overlap and similarity between his tribes. So I think I like it was a sad truth to digest, but it's better for me to see and understand the truth versus being confused by the change of energy and circumstances. Previously, I was top of mind for him, and now that he's found like one, two, three people that just are more compatible with him, have more alike, more similar personalities, of course they're going to be more top of mind than me. And that shift in energy and communication, that's what happened. And it's better to understand what happened than sort of, you know, confusingly try to fight it. Lesson 320. If you keep growing through life, every relationship will have to evolve to a point where your peers are now respectful of your time and only reach out during key times, where they only invite you to key worthy events or catch ups. Like if I keep growing and my peers sort of stay the same, now they're going to feel out of place if they invite me to like a random Friday night dinner catch up. They're going to invite me only things that they know are worth my time because they see that my time is becoming more and more valuable. And I think that's something I need to appreciate, understand, and see that, hey, this is actually a positive thing. Lesson 321, 321. I realized that I actually crave being top of mind for others, just like how I put other people top of my mind. Always checking in with contextual messages, letting them know I'm thinking of them, but I'm not top of mind for other people. Or maybe I'm just a bit less self-conscious where I don't care and I just send messages to people and I don't really care if they're busy or not. And maybe they think I'm busy, so they don't want to interrupt me with a text message. But this may be something I crave more than being seen, more than being like being top of mind encompasses it all. It encompasses needing to be seen, needing to be liked. So yeah, this is a thought I had maybe a week or two ago. I don't know if it's something I still crave now. I think, yeah, like if I had the option between picking what I prefer to be seen or prefer to be top of mind, I definitely prefer to be top of mind for others. Yeah. Lesson 322. Reading Creativity Inc., this book by Ed Catmull about how he built Pixar from scratch. I'm so much even more in awe of Steve Jobs. And I was like, okay, why am I such in awe of this person? Like Steve Jobs, is it because he's dead? Like Steve Jobs is as cool as Elon Musk, cooler than Bill Gates for sure, cooler than Jeff Bezos for sure. And I think the reason why I'm so in awe of him is like that he just believes in is that he just believes in himself. He stays his unique self daringly. He wears his blue jeans, turtleneck shirt, like he's just himself. And he's so passionate and he really wanted to help the world with great products. And it was actually really fair and sort of without ego when shown that his ideas were wrong. He was strong and he was loyal. I think that's another thing. He was a loyal person. I think when you look at people like Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, I don't know how loyal they are. And I think that's why, like, a mixture of all these different things, like it's a mixture of a ton of complete like loyalty, passion, egolessness, wanting to help the world with great products, having your unique sense of self, and not caring what other people think. He's just had this broad maximum. And I think that's what I strive to do. I just try to be many, many different things at the highest level. Man, Steve Jobs is cool. Lesson 323. If evil people are hating you, you're doing something right. If you have jealous, egotistical, self-preservant type people, and they sort of don't like you, that means they're doing something right. Lesson 324. My problem is that I need or I crave to be seen. I want to be top of mind, and I feel lonely without it. And I'm learning and figuring out how to love myself so that I can be there for others with zero need for others to make me feel seen or have me top of mind. If I'm able to truly love myself or process the feelings of loneliness or process the feelings of not being seen all on my own, sit in those feelings, I can get to a place where I can just continue just giving to others that I care about and not worry about it not being returned or reciprocated. And have faith that eventually when I meet my soulmate, that person's going to be able to see right through me. Lesson 325. It's a blessing to not only have, let me rephrase it. It's pretty cool when someone has not one group of friends, but they have two group of friends. If I think about it, I have like seven different group of friends. How lucky am I? I have seven people that I could hit up, do an activity with. They could bring their friends. Like, how lucky am I? Previously, I was so like down and out about not having a group of friends, not being a part of something. But if I really take a step back, like, hey, technically I have like seven completely different group of friends. And given I'm spread so thin, of course it can't be as deep as I want. But it's actually a blessing in disguise. And I think that's what I've realized. I've tried to reframe it, see it as a blessing rather than me continually complaining about not having one group of friends. Lesson 326. I finished reading this manga called Tokyo Revengers. It's this guy who travels from the future to the past. He'll grow, make some changes, and he'll go when he goes back to the future's pretty much the same with very little changes. And what I learned from that is that if you want to change the future, you're going to have to make many, many small changes and decisions in your life, and that these many small changes will compound. So you can't do like one small thing and expect it to change the future. And most likely it won't. You waking up early one morning isn't going to change the future. It requires you waking up early every single day, 365 days a year for 10 years straight. Maybe not that long, but maybe let's like 3, 4 years straight for you to see maybe a difference in the future you. So I think what it taught me is like, hey, I need to be consistent with all the improvements I want to implement to my now if I really want to shift where future Andy stands. Because as of right now, the me waking up 7 a.m. tomorrow morning isn't going to make much of a change, but me waking up 7 a.m. every single day from this moment onwards, that's going to, if compounded over 2, 3, 4 years, that may move the needle. So yeah, that is this week's lessons. Hopefully you guys got some value, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.